This is our personal refugee, George James. He's had his hair all cut nearly to the bone there. I don't know why they did it like that, but they did. So he looks like a right hard case. They got a clipping machine and they didn't have the settings right. They started by taking out his hair almost to the scalp, and so they had to continue until they'd done all of him. So here we go. Yeah, yes, maybe even 5. But so there he is. He was a little bit depressed with it the first day or so, but he's got used to it now. He looks like our concentration camp survivor. So I actually picked him up. I expected him to be light, nearly did my back in because he's not light at all. Thanks for that, George. You just farted on camera. Over here, laughing away as usual, is my daughter Sophie. Now 12. Almost 13. Well, 12 and a half I would say you are. 12 and a half and 12 and a half. 12 and 7 months really, because it's the 1st of December, isn't it? 2012, and you were born on the 1st of May. Well, no, you were born on the 20th of May.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. Yes, it's only 12 and a half and a third of a month, really. I would say. He was born on the 1st of May, but 3 years after she was born. Anyway, she's born, and here we have my glorious wife. And what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? You're going to eat a cream tube.
You want?
Well, I might want one, but I shouldn't have one, so I'll sit it out. I'll sit it out. I'll sit it out. We'll watch you eating one. Go on then, let's have a look and see what it looks like. Masz kojarzenia? Okay. Right then. I guess that looks familiar. That eating of the cream stick there. You don't even understand it, Sophie. You don't even understand it. You don't. You're 12 years old. You don't understand any of that. You better not understand it. You better not understand it. Okay, Tanya doesn't understand it, thankfully. But then Tanya doesn't understand an awful lot. Well, I jolly well like to know why you understand it. If you do. Sorry? Anyway, they're playing with The Sims or something. Are you playing the same thing, or are you playing different things? Are you playing the same thing, or are you playing different things? You're playing the same thing. Are you two girls playing the same thing, or is she playing something different? So she's got a little computer here. She's watching 101 Dalmatians. Why has she not got any? No, Cinderella. Okay, that's sorted us out. Now we're told, and you're playing Sims. Don't you think Sims are a little bit too young for you? Anyway, what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, this is an ancient Goldlist. That's right, and I'm trying to stop eating all the time. I've got some lovely green tea, but it's in a black cup. This is an old Goldlist, and what I had was, this is actually the at one level. You can see that in a long time ago. This is this was dated 24th the 11th. That would be 96. So 16 years old. Literally 16 years old Goldlist. That I'm now. This is at 1. I'm mainly using at 1, but I'm just checking oh Jorby. Checking their old head list. The old head list was in green. I used to use separate sheets. Actually, the funny thing is, some of my readers would be actually quite interested in what I'm saying now, but then nobody's letting me say it. I used to use old separate lists like this, and this is an old one I did for Romanian. This was the H. This was H. That's the first bit of the H over there. I just started doing this afternoon, pulling it out. Then this is I'm on page 5. I didn't used to keep the list. I just used to be able to work out what number it was by 5 times 25 or 4 times 25 plus whatever it is going down the side. I used to keep 1 to 25 as this thing and have pre-printed sheets for this. Is how I did it. But then I just found that it was too clumsy. I much preferred to do it all just in a hardback book. But now what I'm doing is I'm going through this very old Romanian list, and there's the actual source. I've also taken the source. I'm not really opening it. I'm just working from my own Goldlist. But if need be, if I've got a doubt, then I'll open the source. This has since been superseded. It's Dennis Diletant's book, Colloquial Romanian, with cassettes available. That goes to show how old it is. Its cassettes aren't open now. I used to graph out like that my progress at different times. So even this from 97 effectively was when I did it. Shows how far on the theory about Goldlist had gone on by that time, even though I hadn't really shared it with anybody. So there we go. I did it for Romanian. How far did I get, you ask me? Goodness gracious, can't you talk over my film any more than that? Could you not talk a little bit more than that over my film about the Goldlist? I got to 128 lots of 25. So how much is that? In my opinion, that comes to 128 lots of 25 is 25 plus 7 is 32, so 3,200, wouldn't it be? 3,200 after 128. Now I can think anything with these kids going their ends at their inverse directions. So the H head list has 3,200, which basically I covered the whole of that book with a few little exceptions at the end, which are just summing up in this back then. This is the first distillation, the ones that I've now used. I'm not going to use I should be able to use the second and the third distillation, but they don't go very far anyway. So I don't think I could have picked it up from the final distillation, which actually went to the third, but I didn't get very far with that third distillation. I only took it to it's the 13th page, so that's 12. That will be 325, which may well have been more than something like the first 500 or something, maybe more, first 600 or so. But still, I've got a lot more to do with that. So since these ones here are a bit more, also the second distillation wasn't much better. I think it got down to it got to 35 anyway, but never mind. Oh, it was actually 875 from 1,700, which was a 51% distillation. I was already doing that back then, and that was back in 97. That was the way it was after a year of doing Romanian, effectively in 97 at that stage. But it's quite compact and not that legible either by that point. So although I could use it from there, I decided I would take a step further back. After all, it is 16 years old, this thing, or that bit there is 15 years old. And that's a long time, so it doesn't hurt having gone back quite so far and barely used Romanian in the meantime. It doesn't hurt to go and take it from at 1, and I'm just making sure that enables me to make. I can basically distill from at 1 here. I'm using the initial distill marks I made back then as guides, but then doing it on the fly. And those of you that don't have an idea about what the Goldlist system is, then please look up my films and Goldlist system. It will help you learn languages. That's basically what I'm talking about. And then I can also check back, and just in case there's anything in the head list that was already out by this distillation, but I hadn't really remembered it, that doesn't seem to be the case very often. In fact, I'm able to take this and usually distill it a bit further, quite generously further. So far I've done nearly 75, and I just distilled the first 100 of at 1. So this is, I'm calling this like a virtual at 2, although there had been an at 2. I'll compare it to, I mean, 21, which is Romanian for 11, is at 0.72 here, and in the original at 2, if I can find it, this used to be yellow. 21 or 11 would have been, yes, it was number 62. So it's not quite as far. It's between. That was already 100 in this, and it was 62 or 100. It was 100 point number 100 in at 1 in the past. It was number 62 here, which meant that I'd already been able to distill quite aggressively between at 1 and at 2 for Romanian. But in the head list, the word for 11, 21, actually comes at, oh, where are we? It's at position number 5 on page 6. That's 130, number 130. Which means effectively that I'm almost at 50%, but not quite, probably something more like 58% or something of distillation from head list already. If I were to go the whole way, therefore, I'd have to do about 1,600 to distill the whole thing, but obviously some of the later parts of the head list never actually ever got, only half of this head list ever got distilled even to the second level, or even to at 1, so that isn't going to happen. It's going to probably take me 2,000 to distill that head list. But the reason why is I'm going to Romania soon. You'll see my Romanian films, and just in preparation for that, I don't know whether I'll actually do more than 1,000 pages just in preparation for that, because I've only got a little over a week to do it, and I don't want to go crazy just doing that to the detriment of all the other things that I'm doing. All right then, Pushkin. I just want to show you what's going on in the house. Well, maybe not that, because he's mucked up his room a little bit. I just want to show you what I've got going on here, because I spent a lot of time clearing up here. So now my desk is actually, there's the Romanian cassettes. I'm not using them at the moment. I can remember what the pronunciation of Romanian is quite well. So I don't really need that. It's only for beginners, I think. But just to get a little bit more active ears, I'm just going through the Pimsla Romanian, which is 10 half hours to get there. It's a little bit slow going, but it enables me to do things also on the hoof and activate Romanian a bit on the hoof. But I've done I've cleared up my desk from the things that it used to have all over. I spent a lot of time clearing the drawers and everything last couple of weekends, and so that's relatively good now. Pushkin's running away. Let's go to the relative oasis of calm and show you what else we've got going on. It's quite cool in here at the moment. That's what the little ones did of me and Helena at their school. They did a little thing. Now let's see if we can get any joy from filming in here. That's an ancestress. It's probably not in focus. I can focus much better with the new camera. I can't find my algae scraper that I bought. That is a Congo tetra, isn't it? Or is it an emperor tetra? Probably an emperor tetra. Anyhow, it has a problem because, well, I've got two of them, and they kind of play around with each other as if they were male and female, but I'm not sure that they are. I think just there's two of them anyway. But as you can see, the tail is bitten. That was a tiger barb that did all that, but the tiger barb seems to have suddenly died. And it got very, very fat, egg-bound, I think. And there was only one. There wasn't a male to do anything about it. And so I think it just basically are. There we have a little tiny ancestress down there. You see, there's a baby ancestress. Just got the one in the whole clutch, got big enough to escape the attentions of other fish. Now he's got to that size, well, hopefully he'll probably live. Usually one lives per clutch. The ancestresses are breeding every couple of months, and every time it seems that they probably have, I don't know whether they have, I really don't know how many eggs they get, but they might well have 50 to 100 eggs, and only one ever seems to get past the first few days because of the larger fishes that they've been in here. But the more, I'm not buying any new fish. The last time I bought fish with these two loaches aren't going to tend to attack anything the size of that. They have small mouths. They won't probably, they'll leave that alone. Whether they would probably have a go at the eggs, but the ancestress won't let them. They guard their eggs, which is why the eggs get to hatch, but then they don't get much further than that. Once the little chicklets go for a walk around, then they tend to get done in. Yeah, that's my female. That's the one that's done all of that heroic egg laying. I've got plenty of males, but I've only got one fully big female. And she's been through the wars because she must have now done, I don't know, 10 or more bouts of egg laying. Why there aren't any more females and the rest of them are all males, I have no idea. And how it is that she puts up with all of them, I have no idea either. But probably her favourite's the white one, because a lot of the fry come out white as well. That's this one here. Is he showing up there behind? He's got, here we are. The albino one. That's the albino male. He seems to be preferred to the others. So there's happy couple, both on the filter there. What else can I talk about in this tank? The Anubias here, the big plant, it's got quite big and has pushed the Cryptocorin inventi down rather a lot. I put in two other cryptos, but one died there and is on its last legs, and others dying over here on its last legs. Why they don't hold, I just don't know. But the Anubias, for that, on the other hand, is getting quite healthy. I've got a couple of loaches, you've probably seen them. There's a candy striped boscia back there, two in fact, slightly different species, but similar enough to really get on together, and they're playing around the whole time. You wouldn't expect boscia to breed in the aquarium anyway, not without hormones. But just I thought I'd make a collection of boscias. It's a genus I particularly like, the old loaches. I also do like that Crossachilus there, siamensis, which you can just see with the bar going through the eye. That's a very nice fish. It's just, I think, had a bit of a fight with probably the Cynodontis. If it's still in there, it doesn't come out much, or something. I think there's only it's either an ancestress got mad with it, or the Cynodontis started fighting with it. But it's had a fight with something, because it's got some scratching on the scales, and it's looking thoughtful and pensive. Oh, hello, Pushkin. You've come and you want to join me here, do you? Okay. So that's basically what I've got at the moment in the fish tank. So that's just like a little stock take for what this little world looks like now on the 1st of December 2012, doesn't it, Pushkin? So there, it's just a memory make. So there we are. That's what our life looks like. Maybe I'll have a closer look just before we get to. Okay. Maybe we'll have a little look at the quieter of the children. Hi.
She's very, very busy.
She's busy. Is this one busy? No. Sims, I don't know. It's awful.
Well, I'm just building some kind of a house.
Oh, are you really? Okay.
Yes.
Let's have a look just at the plants here as well. That's quite nice. Just to, if we're taking stock, we'll take stock of how big things are. These are my wife's pineapples. Some of them used to be, well, they all used to be on top of pineapples that we bought, and some of them have not really taken off and will probably die. Others are doing well.
No,
and they'll
it's
probably
not die.
It's not going to die?
No.
You're going to make that live?
Они все так начинали.
Okay.
Они принялись к этой среде еще.
So, and some of them are getting really big, and we expect to probably get some fruit off them. There's some bananas, but they don't have seeds, so there's nothing my wife can do about the bananas. This is an avocado, which I one of a whole load that I put the seeds in, but once I bought an organic avocado, and that actually was really organic because the seed worked. The rest of them, they don't seem to have the seeds. There's lots of yuccas behind the curtain there. Another big yucca over there. So, and all these yuccas came from a small yucca plant that we actually were told by the landlord 10 years ago, wasn't it? We've been back 10 years, haven't we, really? And 10 years ago, when we got back, just 10 years ago, give it 2 months and it'll be 10 years ago, we were told by the landlord, oh, this yucca plant's dying, don't worry about it, just throw it out. If you don't like the look of it, throw it out. Now it's been, from that, we've got that plant, all these plants, other plants. I think you've given away some of them, haven't you? But there's about 2 or 3 tubs of it there, with this really big one there. So and this was all from just one tiny one that was half dead when we found it. It was bequeathed to us by the landlord of the place we rented just nearly 10 years ago. So that's nearly 10 years old. That yucca, just no, not from seeds, just from stalks and cuttings and what have you. Yeah, seems like yesterday. But look at that. The size of that tree tells you how much time it is, and that's just part of all of these other ones here. And there was just one tiny straddly thing with maybe 2 little branches, and look how much of it there is now. Okay, that's enough to just give a little. Sophie, can you do it? Okay. That's just a little stock take of where we are, 1st of December stock take. Oh, and Pushkin wants to go to leave the house again. How many times have I been letting you in and out this afternoon? Bye-bye. Bye-bye viewers as well.